All right. Oh, I need glasses on. Hey everyone, welcome to Cure with IBS. Today we will be going over what is IBS and how is it diagnosed. IBS, it's actually pronounced IBS and it is Latin for tummy ache. That's a joke. IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome. It is a functional bowel disorder, and what it means is that you aren't going to die from it. It does not lead to anything else. It's not a precursor for any other problem that you could have, any other diagnosis you could have. You can have it your whole life. It will not make you any more or less healthy. I don't know how it would make you more healthy. It's a syndrome, so it is a collection of symptoms, and the collection of symptoms are frequent abdominal pain, bloating, gas, frequent diarrhea, or frequent constipation. It's in general hypersensitivity of your gut. With IBS patients, they will look at your stool samples and they will say there is nothing wrong in your large intestine, and therefore, what IBS is largely a dysfunction of how your nerves work with your muscles in your digestive tract. Let's consider a healthy bowel. A healthy bowel, food will come in and it'll like squeeze like this. And it will take somewhere between 24 to 72 hours to move that food through. People with IBS occasionally will go forwards and then we will go backwards. We'll go forwards and we'll go backwards. That is the case with someone who has constipation. In the other case, the small intestine will empty into the large intestine and your large intestine will go, oh, and it'll just squeeze all the way through and it won't allow for any of the liquid to get absorbed, which is why you might have something like diarrhea. The way it is therefore diagnosed is it is the absence of all other stomach issues. Basically, when you get diagnosed, they take a stool sample. Sometimes they take two different types of stool samples. They take one just to look at the bacteria in your gut to make sure there's no harmful bacteria. And they take a second one where you collect your stool over the course of 3 days. And that one they will check for parasites. Because there is no cure, it's a very frustrating diagnosis to get. What this means is you go to the doctor, you say, my stomach hurts, everything's not going well, and then the doctor's like, well, you're not gonna die from it, go on your way. And so what we have to do as people with IBS is be our own doctors. My next video will go, how do we treat IBS and live our lives in the best way we can, living with it. So you might be wondering after your diagnosis, why did I get IBS? For a lot of us, it's genetic. For instance, if you're an Ashkenazi Jew. It can also happen after surgery. So if you've had surgery on your gut, such as gallbladder removal surgery, if you have a surgery that goes around and moves your intestines around, sometimes it can trigger IBS. And it can also just be comorbid with other things. I will put a list right here of things that are comorbid with it that can cause it. Okay, I think that's all I have to say in this video. If you like this video, I have a ton more coming out, so please like, please subscribe, and please comment. I am so curious. How were you diagnosed with IBS? I want to know. Oh my gosh, I actually was never told I was diagnosed with IBS by a doctor. I went in and I did the stool samples and then they sent me to biofeedback therapy, which was like a 6-week course. And after the 6-week course, I was like, cool, I did that thing. And then 6 months later, my cousin asked me, he was like, well, you were diagnosed with IBS, right? And I was like, oh, no one told me I had IBS. I was 12. Anyways.